Subaru Restricted race, far away Dante, breaks the tips quickly with Mr. Bingley, in the grey colours of Bray Park, slightly slow in behind was R the Very Man and Flying Central, the George white colours have summoned through in the inside, Horizon Jim is wider on the track. Very slow and ponderous leap in behind by Flying Central, sees him detached by 5 or 6 from the rest of them as Chris Dawson and Mr. Bingley. It can only be described as a very modest tempo in the restricted race. From Faraway Dante and Ross Wilson, and Bray Park Tom Hamilton in the quartered cap of Court Painter, who was gambled into favourite just before the off for Kit Alexander. Then we've got Horizon Jim in the predominantly black colours with a blue triple diamond, colours successful in the previous race. Then the other Victor Thompson runner Tristan Davis and the Dalston winner Anzinger, and still bringing up the rear is Flying Central. So midway down the back straight for the penultimate time today in what has been probably the best day at Morpeth.com ever. Conditions of glorious sunshine, hardly any breeze, and happy punters and happy horses. So they go towards the last one in this section of the track, and it's still Mr. Bingley. So Mr. Bingley challenged all the while on the outside by Faraway Dante, the grey horse, for Norman Sanderson and Ross Wilson. Still no move in behind from Flying Central, who's content to sit and look at them, but they are merely dawdling in Northumberland sunshine. And one would imagine at some point there would have to be a quickening of the tempo, but they're all at this moment in time content to sit and look at one another. And on the outside, Faraway Dante takes a very narrow advantage from Mr. Bingley. The Thompson runner through the middle with a quartered cap is Court Painter, followed by stablemate Anzinger. Away to the right went Court Painter there. Horizon Jim is plenty close enough for Joe Wright in the dark blue colours, just hunting up the leaders, as are many of them, and it's only really Flying Central who was detached, but he is now closed in onto the tails of the leaders, and as they say in the trade, you could throw a blanket over them as they come towards what will be the second last in a circuit's time, and a fine afternoon's pointing at Tranwell. So up towards what will be the last in a circuit's time, and through on the inside comes Bray Park for Tom Hamilton. There could be about 4 in a line, 5 in a line. Faraway Dante, Mr. Bingley, Horizon Jim goes well. Bray Park receives a hurry up a little bit on the inside, followed through by R the Very Man for Jackie Coward from the Middleton Hunt. So they pass under the judge with one circuit left. And as they do so, it's pretty much as you were from the start, with Mr. Bingley to the inside of Faraway Dante. Horizon Jim has crept closer to the lead all the while. Then Bray Park, then the two Thompson runners, Court Painter and Anzinger wider of that one. Back in the field to R the Very Man, and still Flying Central brings up the rear. So at last the tempo begins to quicken a little bit, and as it does, it's on the inside Mr. Bingley from Faraway Dante, Horizon Jim, Bray Park. Tom Hamilton gets a little bit lower in the saddle there. Then the two Thompson runners on the inside, Court Painter, on the outside Anzinger. No move yet from R the Very Man and Jackie Coward. The George White colours of Summon are still bang there on the premises, in fact, as are they all. So they swing left-handed, 7 left, and the 7 race card. 9 runners face the judge, all 9 still standing, and still at the head of affairs is the Susan Watson owned Mr. Bingley. So Mr. Bingley, Faraway Dante, they've dropped 1 or 2 of them. Horizon Jim, and on the outside Anzinger goes well. Also creeping a little bit closer is Summon. Still no move from R the Very Man, who's at the tail end of the field. Flying Central has passed a couple. Bray Park won't be winning unless there's calamities in front of him. So they go towards the one that is marginally obscured from the grandstands, and when they come back into sight, they'll have 4 to jump in the Subaru Restricted race. for the Sample Challenge Cup, £150 to the winner, and who's it going to be? Who's your ticket on in the lucky last? Out they come, and still to the fore is Mr. Bingley. He's gradually quickened the tempo all the way around Chris Dawson, and has he kept it up his sleeve to repel all raiders. Far away down, he has another go at him. Then Orison Jim receives the hurry up in third. Joe Wright's getting a little lower in the saddle and comes under strong pressure. The one who closes stylishly is Anzinger for Tristan Davison and the Victor Thompson stable. The one they've dropped is the other Victor Thompson runner, Court Painter. So still many in with chances, and it's attritional out there in this soft, tacky ground. But Anzinger looks to be a horse full of running as he breezes up on the outside of the leaders. So Anzinger faces the judge. He's come through for a share of the spoils with Mr. Bingley. Then in behind, Orison Jim Flying Central makes quite eye-catching progress in behind, being given a very patient ride by Gary Bowman in the Doreen Calder colours, and Anzinger to the outside of the green colours of Mr. Bingley. So Anzinger, Mr. Bingley, Flying Central, Orison Jim, Faraway Dante, and the George White looking for a double summon. He's coming with a wet sail in between runners. So three in line at the second last, and going to the front is Summoned. Summoned has gone from about 6th to first place in a matter of strides, and coming down towards the last Summoned looking for a first and last race double, but he's very slow in the air, and that's handing another chance to Mr. Bingley on the inside. It's Mr. Bingley on the inside, on the outside Summoned, Smith on the outside, Dawson on the inside. It's a ding-dong ball up to the line, and it's going to be won by Summoned. Summoned on the outside gets the spoils. It's a double for White and Richard Smith. Narrowly foiled.